Hello, and welcome to This Week in James City County. I'm your host, Renee Dahlman. Today, I'm very fortunate to be joined by two gentlemen. We have Buddy Stewart. Buddy is the Director of Fleet and Equipment here in James City County, and also Bobby Bradley. Bobby is Fire Rescue Tech 3. You know, that's the best title I've ever heard. So I really, really like that.
Thank you. That was Buddy's idea.
Yeah, good. It's a good one. It's a good one. So, Buddy, you're exciting. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard to beat Fire Rescue Tech 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Bobby's the guy.
Bobby is the guy. Well, I am so happy that you both took some time out of your busy schedules to join me today.
Yep, we're glad to be here.
Yes, glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So, as you know, we are going through and talking to folks in some of those behind the scenes positions that we normally don't see, but if they weren't here, everything would fall apart. So we are so glad that you both have joined us today. So first of all, Buddy, we're going to start with you. What is your division responsible for?
So, when we talked about having this conversation, I actually put some bullet points down, and
Good.
The very first bullet point says, some days it seems like literally everything. So,
Sure.
And that's the truth, really. I mean, we take care of a lot of things. A lot of people don't, they think fleet and they think the vehicles, but they kind of forget about the fuel sites and all of the other things that go into making it work. So, we've got 6 fuel sites, now 7 with the marina that's down there. We go through a little over 300,000 gallons a year on a normal year, barring some weird storm that may come up. We kind of take care of every piece of equipment that James City County and Service Authority, a couple other outside agencies like the library, have. We do everything kind of what I call cradle to grave. So, we go through the specs of the vehicle, we develop everything. We either develop a contract or find a contract to purchase all of these things off of. We develop the maintenance program through the life of the vehicles. And then when it's time for them to go away, we decide how to sell them, when to sell them, and how much we want to get back for them. So really kind of a cradle to grave thing. And it's quite a bit of stuff. We've got about 1,100 pieces of equipment that we take care of. And yeah, when you kind of equate that to the probably 2 or 3 cars that you may have at home as a family, 1,100 is a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So tell me, both of you all, what is a typical day like for you?
No such thing as a typical day around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some days it's crazy hectic. You'll be working on a fire truck one minute and a pump and haul truck for the sewage system, to weed eaters, lawnmowers, bicycles, special projects like working on mailboxes that need to be repaired and painted that somebody's knocked off the pedestal. And so
Yeah.
we do all kinds of different stuff. And other days it's not too hectic and busy, just normal routine maintenance on things. So
Yeah.
it's never a dull moment. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, he said the same thing, and that's, really what I was going to say. It's always something different. I mean, it really, really is. We've got such a variety, and, finding technicians to work for us really, at times it can be a challenge, but it's very rewarding once they get here. A lot of times you find techs that work out in the outside world, they work on the same thing day in and day out. Here, we're kind of fortunate that it's such a variety of things that it's always something different.
So yeah, I did not realize that necessarily.
Yeah.
So Bobby, you're not just sitting there waiting for the next fire engine to come in. You're
we're upfitting the new police cars when they come in. I mean, we're working on tractors, lawnmowers, like I said, any other car or truck that's broken in the county. We work on excavators. I mean,
anything.
Knock on wood, we don't have trash trucks. So I don't have to work on those. But we work on landfill stuff too. So I mean, sometimes you're still out around that stuff, and
yeah,
sometimes it's a dirty job.
I am sure. Oh, we should have that guy come in.
Usually I'm covered head to toe in grease and dirt and grime by the time I go home in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, I am very thankful that we got you early enough today that you're not covered head to toe in grease.
I kept a clean shirt back just in case this morning.
Because who knows? It's morning time, but you all have been at work for a while. So
you asked though about a typical day.
Yeah.
And, again, nothing typical, but people do kind of get this perception, and yes, fire public safety is definitely a priority for us. But people forget about the mowers and kind of those behind the scenes kind of things. And I've used this before as an example. So, the fields out at War Hill, for example. So some of those are kind of specialty mowers that maintain those things. We may only have 1 or 2 of those. if we've got a big soccer event or some sort of event out there that everything needs to be maintained, you know, unfortunately, that mower is going to become priority. So
Mhm.
we're going to have to shift gears. And a lot of people don't realize that. But, you know, we have, it could be 3,000 people coming in for a weekend for some event that we've shifted gears to work on that. You know, so it really just depends on what the priority is for the day. So again, you never know what you're going to be doing.
Yeah. Well, that keeps it kind of exciting though, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my old job, I worked on the same school buses every single day. So it was
Okay.
day in, day out. It was just, I knew what I was working on every day, and it kind of got old after 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
when we brought Bobby on, one of the things he said in the interview was he was tired of working on yellow school buses and just didn't want to work on anything
That's
yellow.
right.
I said, no problem. We've got a big variety. Well, unfortunately, we have one yellow trailer and
That was the first thing I got to work on. Was a
Oh,
big
that's
trailer.
awesome.
I thought he fooled me and got me.
You did. Oh my gosh. And so now you also work on big red things and little
Oh,
red,
yeah.
all
And
the stuff.
sometimes I feel the same way about the red thing. It's like they just keep coming. It's like, well, right now we got what, 4 fire trucks here broke
Yeah.
down and an ambulance.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot. So what would you say is your favorite part of your job?
I do enjoy the variety of the equipment that I get to work on. It's not the same thing every
Mhm.
day. And it is challenging sometimes. I like to push myself and get challenged on figuring out how things work and how to fix it. And we got a good group of people to work here too. It's like sort of like the bag of Chex Mix, you know, you got some of them that aren't the favorite or down the bottom of the bag, the last
Yeah.
one's ate, but it's a good mix of different personalities and backgrounds and
Yeah.
and lifestyles and everything else, I think. So it keeps it interesting and fun.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, buddy?
I'm right on board with where he is. Yep, absolutely. So it really is. I've been very fortunate to have a group of people that we have. Again, we've been kind of talked about it being a, you know, that bag of Chex Mix or mixed bag of nuts, you know, however you want to look at it. But everybody's got a little bit different background, but same common goal. And it again makes it interesting and fun.
So at full staffing, can you tell me about how many employees you have in that division?
Yep. So there's 10 of us when we're full staffed. So we've got let's see, there's myself, we've got a service coordinator, we've got 2 people actually in parts, and then everybody else is out in the parts room. I mean, out in the shop. We do have one of the guys is kind of dedicated to this. We call it small engine stuff, which is, I don't know if that's the best term really, because you know, some of the mowers, people don't realize this, but we've got some mowers that are, you know, $80,000-$90,000 mowers. I mean, they're
Wow.
pretty complex, you know. So, but we do have one person that's dedicated to that. We do get some support from the jail. So we do have an individual that comes in and helps clean up and, you know, dump our waste oil and those kind of things. And that's actually pretty helpful because it allows for the, you know, rest of the staff to
Yes.
do what they're doing.
So 11. You could have told me 50 and I wouldn't have blinked. I am stunned. All of that equipment, 11 people.
Yep.
11 people.
That
Yeah.
is amazing. That is amazing.
Again, good group of folks.
Yeah. Chex Mix.
That's
So
it.
I
Right.
love that. So if you all were trying to recruit someone to come and work with you all, what would you tell them to pique their interest?
I mean, it's nice. It is a challenge because you do work on a lot of different equipment, but it's also, you don't get burnt out of working on the exact same thing. Like I said, we got a great group of people to work with us. It's fun. The pay is fairly comparable to other places and the benefits and, you know, and I'm on the recognition committee also, and they do a lot to help with the employees to recognize them. And 4 times a year, every quarter we get together and, you know, kind of have a cookout or an ice cream social or something like that, just to, you know, to kind of keep the camaraderie between everybody, you know, and kind of lets the department see what the other departments are doing. So, you know, because we're back in the corner, we're like, feel like redheaded stepchild sometimes because we're out of sight, out of mind, and people forget we're back
Yeah.
here until their stuff's broke a lot of times.
Right.
But it is a nice place to work and a good group of people to work with, you know, and it is fun. And James City County does try to take care of their employees pretty good too, which is a nice thing.
Absolutely. How about you, buddy?
So, you know, I think you mentioned it when we started about, you know, kind of the behind the scene things. And I do, you know, try to relay to folks and remind them. And I hope they know, but, you know, I do feel like a lot of times we are kind of the unsung heroes. We do have people come by that thank us, and that's really nice. But, again, like you said, if we weren't here, getting the fire equipment, the mowers, the medics, the, underground utilities, water, sewer, and all those, there's a lot of specialty pieces in all of those departments. And, priorities are shifting every day. And it's just, it's pretty exciting, really, when you step back and look at it and realize what you've done.
Right. Well, I know that both of you do not work beyond much over 40 hours a week. What do you enjoy doing when you're not at work?
Yeah, shocker here for Bobby.
I usually go home and work on more cars and stuff. Because I do a little bit of side work on the side. And I mean, like I've got a guy's old pickup truck at the house that I'm restoring for him. And I got my own projects that get put on the back burner, and got a couple grandkids now. I got 3 grandkids. So spending time with grandkids. And
Do you want to say hi to them while we're on?
I grandbabies, I got Finley, Coraline, and Callum are my
Nice.
3 grandkids. One of them's in 1st grade already.
Oh my gosh.
That makes me getting old, I guess.
No,
But
no.
no, we go camping some, and got a little pontoon boat we take out and take everybody out on when it's running right. When I've got time to work on it and keep it in the water.
Right.
But
Very-
used to race cars and stuff, but I don't have time or money for that no more. And then I do some blacksmithing and woodworking stuff. I took some blacksmithing classes a few years ago. So
Yeah, Bobby's a hands-on guy for
yes,
sure.
I like
Sounds
working with
like
my
it.
hands, whether it's welding, fabricating, doing body work, whatever. I like to see, even as a kid, I was one of the people that took everything apart to see how it works and went back together. And I'm still like that.
Yeah,
That's
most of the folks here are like that. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's amazing. How about you, buddy?
Yeah, so really a lot of the same thing. I mean, I do miss, because I came from actually working out in the shop, and I do miss some of that. We joked a little bit ago. I'll walk out there sometimes and act like I know what I'm doing, break something, and then they have to go fix it. So, but but no, at home, I mean, I like working on stuff. I help out some friends and do different things. I like going out in the boat, hanging out with just family. I'm very fortunate to still have my parents around. So, that, and we've got a couple of dogs. My wife and I take the dogs walking all the time, and I do play a fair amount of golf and do a little bit of boating, and, all that good family stuff.
I love that. That sounds perfect. Well, thank you both so much. I'm amazed. I mean, I've only worked here for 30 years, and I did not know some of this stuff that we were talking about. And so I really, really appreciate you all coming on and talking with me.
Anytime.
Anytime we have
Glad to do
time,
it.
you have to stop by the shop and see how it actually works.
I was
we will.
thinking the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm always inviting folks to come see what we got going on.
Very good. Very good. Well, again, thank you guys so much.
All right.
Hey,
and
thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Well, that wraps up this episode of This Week in James City County. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please be sure to subscribe. That way you will never miss an episode. And we have a website. We're at jamescitycountyva.gov/podcast. And while there, you're going to be able to give us show ideas, comments, critiques. We would love to hear from you. So once again, thank you so much for that. And every time you see a truck or a car or a piece of equipment with the James City County logo, know for a fact that Buddy and Bobby probably had something to do with it on getting that working and on the road for all of us. So once again, thank you so much, and we will talk with you next time.